Wike all over the place. And then I thought to myself, is it to suggest that the totality of the authority of a democratic government, which is really a civilian-termed monarchy, let me break that down. Democratic governance is a civilian-termed as in number of term, years, monarchy, where the authority is vested in the commander-in-chief and the president, and he's the one that all the authorities draw authority from. I found it extremely irritating that people were now beginning to say that some former governor, some minister is now so big that everybody in the country will be blaming one person. Instead of that, I called to the conscience of the president, who ordinarily ought to know that the duty of a president, apart from even stabilizing the country, is also to make sure that a certain kind of character, behavior, and attitude does not run in his country, especially when the person is his aide. It takes nothing to call him to order. And I wasn't going to start pampering or calling a mouse, calling him an elephant. If there be anybody in this country that must have the power to say, oh, judiciary and all of those things, the rumor, I felt it was the president. And if Wike's staff is doing that, then I will not blame Wike. Rather than that, I will attack the leader so he can take care of his sheep. If people are scheming in their party, one person wants this, one person wants that, that is part of the allowed characteristic of party politics that we even want to correct here. Because a political party should not be the fiefdom of one individual, no matter how highly placed. The political party should be a collaboration of all members, working according to their constitution, their operational manual, and the kinds of things they want to project. And you have heard me say that when the world, even during the days of Caesar, wanted the head of the Lord Jesus Christ, what's that man's name? Pontius Pilate washed off his hand and gave them his head. When they wanted the head of John the Baptist, they gave, if the PDP and the Nigerian people are insisting that Wike has to go, then I would rather put it this way. Time has come now for him to make up his mind where he belongs. If he wishes to be in APC, he should go there and leave PDP. And if he wishes to be in PDP, now that everybody is calling him, he should drop their appointment and come. After all, both Wike, Unwai, Akpabio, and all of the stars they now have are products of the PDP. We are the University of Politics in this country. And if they are using our man to destabilize us, I cannot take that decision for him. But I don't believe that one man should be able to say, when other men are being lazy and being irresponsible. Remember, there was a time I said, I will ransom 13 of them for 1 Wike. It is because of things like this. How can they all be saying Wike? What are the 12 other governors doing? Don't they have balls? On Atiku Abubakar, I started speaking into his campaign ideas at about 2017. Before then, he ran his politics, I ran my life. But after 2017, Lulu Obaifo, who I don't even think if that one is still with him, was the one who dragged me, and Amina Jambo, I mentioned both of you with deference and irreverence, so we should try for this party. And since I'm an opposition figure and a PDP man, that is the basis of that whole exercise, the passion, the energy that you saw. By 2023, I clearly was not a spokesperson directly like that, but we enjoy robust relationship and we enjoy very deep understanding of what the struggle, of what he wants to bring to the table. And his cause, if he succeeded in winning the ticket, I hold the view that for you to say that the only time you can be happy is when the ticket of a political party gets to you, then that means you don't understand what leadership and service is. Anybody who wins the ticket in a free fair contest, that is the candidate. But as I see things now, it's getting a little bit tedious. Most people know, and those who don't know, let me tell you now, I know the amount of running around the country I did just to persuade the people of Southeastern extraction in PDP, especially even His Excellency Peter Obi, that look, we're going to destroy this country if we run a country that gives the third leg of our independence struggle the idea that they cannot be president or that there will be a glass ceiling over their head. And in a bid to create a pan-Nigerian politician of them, since I consider Emeka Anyaoku now too old, I went all over Southeast begging people and visited even him, Peter, more than 5 times. But I do know That beyond the pedagogy of language, production to consumption and so talk, nation building is a very serious business. And I'm not saying I will not even back him, but we must back him on the consequence, on an assumption that he can get the job done. There's no point in designing an election contest that is only going to bring frustration. After all, who would have argued that Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, given his pedigree and what he has done, take everything away from him? Would you have expected him to be in the villa and be struggling? So that means that there's something beyond what one individual can say, one individual can promise. And so nobody, Atiku has not even told me he's running. I've asked him 2 times. I'll ask him one more time. If he doesn't give an answer, that's it. But the point I'm making is that it's not about him. Anyone who has the heart to develop Nigeria, anyone who has the stamina for democracy, anyone who can speak to the how would we get it done? The how would we get it done? We'll back. And if the burden falls on me, then surely I will tell you, I'll come here and announce you that I'm running for president, and let the heavens fall if he wants to fall. So I'm telling you with clarity that it's not about anybody, it's about all of us. Are you happy the way things are? You will look at some locations. The father has misbehaved all over the country. The son will be saying he wants to be senator, he wants to be rep, like you guys are, like we are slaves in this country, in a democracy. No. So it's not about any of them, but it's also about all of them. We will all take a decision together. We will look at them. Anybody who does not present himself for the interrogation of the media, you have no right voting for him. A man who promises nothing cannot be held to anything. I'm beginning to see that the political parties as presently structured, they are beginning to appear as a platform of a fait accompli. What do I mean by that? Political parties, let's say the 3 of them that are a little bit, that did well the last time. PDP, APC, and Labour. Can you imagine if they don't clean up their own internal processes? And their internal processes make it difficult for beautiful people of ideas like myself and yourself to be able to aspire. Can you imagine if in a crooked manner they only throw us the worst of us, and then we get to the vote day, there's no independent candidacy, and then the citizens of Nigeria will have to choose between 2 fingers of a leprosy hand? That doesn't make sense. So what this platform is meant to do is that we will engage the country. We will engage the citizens. Those who say they want to be president or whatever, we will engage them together. And hopefully we will together take a decision that all things considered, this is the best man now. And it will not matter what party we belong to. We will then all go out and tell our people they will not use the political party to frustrate the vision and the dream of this nation for greatness, that this is the way. That's why we called it the alternative. So that at every point in time, via the town hall meetings, via the conversations, via the polling, via the energy that we see that they are bringing to the table, via the issues they are discussing and the how, it's not enough for people to be using buzzwords. We have gotten to a point now where we must even be interrogating, how do they even want to do it? Are we going to accept the status quo where political parties will just do things that are against common sense, and then we'll all be stuck or forced to just be complaining and murmuring? No, we won't do that. And if it means we have to find another political party and tell all Nigerians that all things considered, this is where we think the way is, then that will be it. Because I tell you again, it has always been my axiom, the Nigerian nation is greater than any political party. If the party of Obafemi Awolowo or UPN can die, if the PRP of Aminu Kano can die, if the GNPP of Waziri Ibrahim can die, who are these people that are telling us about their party? So that's that. To sustain it, if any one of us gets to go and contest election and all that, we find somebody else, we hand over the baton and he takes over. And then he will be the lead, he will be the child, he will be the conscience, and he will be the one stimulating the Nigerian society. But we cannot not do nothing. We cannot have a nation in democracy that instead of even collaborating to build a platform that can accommodate all persons, we are excluding people, we are creating division, we are talking in the most annoying manner to be irritating ourselves, we are even almost inching our country. The march has begun. Gentlemen of the press, the march has begun. We are extending our hands of partnership and collaboration to all Nigerians who wonder if this is the best we can be, who wonder if nothing good is going to come out of this democracy, who wonder where do we go from here, and who are desirous. Gentlemen of the press, you can't be disturbing us with your side talk. desirous of a vibrant opposition, as well as a transparent, credible democratic electoral process. We shall christen the movement the alternative. Why are we calling it the alternative? Because it is not exactly a platform to just see no good, hear no good, desire no good in our country. And it is to take into cognizance that those in government today are not the enemy. Sometimes it is an exchange of alternative viewpoints on policy and program that we may save our democracy, save our country, and stop being each other's enemies. And it is also more importantly, to ensure that it can be a platform that can be passed on for the next person who will be in opposition. For being a strong PDP member, my very self, never leaving the party, committed and holding the party, I understand that those who are in government today will surely be in opposition tomorrow. And by the grace of God, and if it is the will of the Nigerian people, those who are in opposition today must surely become maybe in government tomorrow. Therefore, we're looking for a platform that can stand the test of time, that can do better than what our forebearers have done. For whereas they had very little opportunities of training, they had very little historical books of their own African experiences, we, their children and grandchildren, can stand on the giant of the ideals of our founding fathers, the Tafawa Balewas of this world, the Ahmadu Bellos of this world, the Bafemi Awolowo of this world, the Azikiwes of this world, and such great men, the J-Stackers of this world, men who, and women too, who have taught that this nation, under God, being the most populous black nation on earth, has a right to tell the world, we are here now, and we deserve to be taken seriously. And for anyone to take us seriously, we first of all have to clean up our own mess. Democracy has only one promise, and that is the promise that the child of anybody within the Nigerian space who is automatically qualified and not disqualified by law is entitled to participate. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we have invited you. My name is Otumba Segun Sowunmi. I am the chief convener and the promoter of this idea. And by the grace of God, you will find me never to falter nor drop.